Hello students, welcome to section 4-2, operations with matrices. So add and subtract matrices. Matrices with the same dimensions can be added together or one can be subtracted from the other. So addition of matrices. They show a very generic example for both as it shows here. The first of which for addition they show a 3-row by 3-column matrix plus another 3-row by 3-column matrix. If you were to add these two matrices, these two 3 by 3, and that's the only way that a 3 by 3 can be added to another 3 by 3, that is. It's as easy as taking A plus J, which you see in the very first row, first column resulting matrix, and then keep going. B plus K, there it is, B plus K. C plus L, there it is, and so on and so forth. D plus M, E plus N, and there you go. So the finishing touch there as far as the 3 by 3 matrix goes, first of all, it is a 3 by 3 matrix, of course, but it's just a result of adding the respective corresponding row and column value. And the same goes with subtraction as well. So if you have a 3 by 3 matrix, for example, minus another 3 by 3, it is the only way that it can be done. 3 by 3 minus a 3 by 3 will yield a 3 by 3. And similarly, it'll be A minus J, there it is, and then B minus K, and then C minus L, and so on and so forth. Again, the resulting matrix is a 3 by 3. For example, find A plus B, and I do want you to kind of get more in the habit of using capital letters for matrices. I know they've been doing that off and on since the beginning, but this is going to be more of a commonplace as we continue. So if matrix A is equal to this 2 by 2 and B is equal to this 2 by 2, first question really should be, can they be added or subtracted? And the answer is, yeah, of course. So if you add the 2 by 2 here plus this 2 by 2 there, simply becomes 6 plus 4 for the first entry or value there. As you can see, you can call it an entry as well. As a matter of fact, later we'll actually do this on the calculator to verify everything. Yeah, 6 plus 4, negative 7 plus 2, 2 plus negative 5, and negative 12 plus negative 6. So your final answer ends up being a 2 by 2 matrix, not surprisingly, of which has 10, negative 5, negative 3, and negative 18 as its values. Example 2. So just as you were saying, you can add but also subtract matrices. So this matrix A is a 3 by 2, and this matrix B is also a 3 by 2. So matrix A minus matrix B, negative 2 minus 4, continue, 8 minus negative 3, 3 minus negative 2, be careful with the signs when you're doing this, and negative 4 minus 1, and that last, or that second, excuse me, column to fin or row to finish, and then lastly 10 minus negative 6, and then 7 minus 8. The following matrix results, it's a 3 by 2, not surprisingly, negative 6, 11, because 8 minus negative 3 is still, or is certainly 8 plus 3 if you think of it that way. 3 minus negative 2 or 5, negative 4 minus 1, negative 5, 10 minus negative 6 or 10 plus 6, which is 16, and then of course 7 minus 8, negative 1. So what I'd like to do is actually show you again what the calculator can do. I have matrix tools still that are very conducive on the calculator, but also on OneNote. I'm going to go ahead and insert, and we'll hit, like we did in section 4.1, insert structures, and I'll go ahead and use the bracket option, and we'll go ahead and type in square brackets. Sometimes these are a bit small to start with. You can also zoom in to make it easier on yourself, or you can just literally make it bigger, which I'll do right here. I think 20 is usually pretty safe. And then I'll go ahead and hit insert again, and then plus. We're going to add two matrices, and we'll hit this button yet again. Remember, we can only add and subtract matrices if they have the exact same dimensions, rows and columns. So let's just do 1, 2, comma 2, enter, 3, comma 4, plus, let's do 1, comma 2, enter, 3, comma 4. So you're adding a 2 by 2 plus a 2 by 2. If you can guess in advance what the answer will be, great. But I'm going to go ahead. You can pause the video if you'd like to guess. I'm going to go ahead and hit math after I highlight it first. Excuse me. So highlight it first, math, and then select the action of evaluate. And there you have it. Your answer shows there 2, 4, 6, and 8. Right, I'm going to, like before, I'm going to take that answer and just slide it right over, which is going to stay there for your later understanding and manipulation. So another option, of course, and maybe what I'll do here is use the online graphing calculator. If you haven't yet tried this, this particular online graphing calculator will mimic pretty much what a handheld graphing calculator will be able to do for you. I do recommend that you practice these not just on OneNote, but also on the graphing calculator. Why don't I do that? Because that opened up pretty quickly. Why don't I do that here now, and I'll maybe use this as well for when we do the next side of the worksheet here. Okay, so again, we had matrix A, which was this matrix B, let's say, which was that. Or if you wanted to just say A plus A, that also should work on your calculators. So on your calculator, you'll hit second, X inverse or matrix. We'll edit matrix A. I'll type in 2, enter 2, so 2 by 2, and then 1, enter 2, 3, enter 4. Okay. So we can actually just leave matrix A as is. If you want to type in matrix B, you can. If you wanted to do that, I also recommend that you quit the menu and then go back into the matrix, and then you can edit matrix B if you so choose to do it that way. Because the two matrices are identical, I'm just going to add matrix A to itself, and that will be as easy as, I'll hit second quit. So again, instead of editing option 2, I'll hit second quit, and I will hit second matrix 1 plus second matrix 1, because I'm hitting option 1, of course. So A plus A, and there you have it, 2, 4, 6, 8. Not surprisingly, a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. As you can see, on the next page, we're talking about something called scalar multiplication. You can multiply an m by n matrix by a scalar k. So for this general case, you can see k, some number, which is all a scalar is, times this 2 by 3 should be equal to, and it's as easy as literally distributing k times a, there's the first value, k times b, k times c, and so on, k times d, e, and f. So your resulting matrix is still a 2 by 3, but it's obviously scaled up. It's scaled up to whatever k is, or down, I guess, if k is, of course, let's say a fraction, or a negative value, let's say. All right, so for example, if matrix A is equal to this 2 by 2, and matrix B is equal to this 2 by 2, it says find 3B minus 2A. So pretty simply, you'll work through by taking 3, distributing it to matrix A. So 3 times negative 1, 3 times 5, 3 times 7, 3 times 8. And there you see the math. And the next step or 2 down, you'll see this 2 by 2, negative 3, 15, 21, 24. Distributing the 2, now they actually left the negative out. You can distribute the negative 2. Just be careful. If you don't distribute it, technically, you'll have to distribute it later. You don't distribute the negative along with the 2. They multiplied 2 all the way through, so 2 times 4, 2 times 0, 2 times negative 6, and 2 times 3. So 8, 0, negative 12, 6 is the 2 by 2 that results. They left the minus, like I said, so they did negative 3 minus 8, which you can do because they're both 2 by 2s. So again, they started with the scalar multiplication for both matrices, and now you'll subtract. -3 minus 8, 15 minus 0, 21 minus -12, and lastly 24 minus 6. All that simplifies as such. So this 2 by 2 resulting matrix is -11, 15, 33, 18. So what I think I'll do on this particular problem, and I do this, I will show you both on the graphing calculator that I've asked you to download, but also I'll bounce to the OneNote Matrix tools to do the problem that, actually let's do the problem we were doing earlier. Okay, so this is the problem we were doing earlier if you recall. So if we do the scalar multiplication that I just went through with you guys, like we saw here with just matrix A plus itself, well, wouldn't it also be true if you hit 2 second matrix option 1? Shouldn't 2 times A be the same answer? Well, think about that. A matrix plus itself is A plus A or 2A. In this case, of course, it's a 2 by 2 matrix like we see, 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's an option. And then if I wanted to, heck, if I wanted to do 2A, let's do that. Hit second, enter. Second enter pulls up the last thing you typed in. And then minus second matrix, option 1. Why don't we just try this? What should 2A minus A be? If 2, 4, 6, 8 is the result of 2 times A, what should it be when you subtract matrix A? Go ahead and pause if you'd like. But there you go. It should be, well, the original A matrix, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's finish up our notes for today by bouncing to the, let's close this, by bouncing to the option we were discussing earlier. Let's go ahead and copy this. And paste. And then if I were to, let's just pop in a number here. Let's pop in 2. And let's do something a little different. Let's see if we can mix things up, make things more interesting. Let's do minus, let's do 3. Okay, you can hit pause if you're wanting to maybe do this in advance and see if you're right. So we got 2 times matrix, we'll call it A again, minus 3 times matrix A. Think about what it would be. I'll select my action again under math. I did highlight it, by the way, if you didn't see that. And then evaluate. 2 times matrix A minus 3 times matrix A. Press pause if you'd like. Here we go. There's your answer. -1, -2, -3, -4. These problems are really not that much more difficult actually without a calculator, but I do think as you're progressing through these questions, I do think practicing using the calculator off and on will certainly benefit you. And certainly when we do harder problems, bigger matrices with bigger dimensions and a lot of steps, let's say, with a variety of things going on in the problem. Real quick, just to prove or verify that we're right, let's do this by hand in our head. 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4. Okay, we already knew that that's 2, 4, 6, 8. But what about -3 times 1, -3 times 2, -3 times 3, -3 times 4? Well, that should be -3, -6, -9, -12. So let's do that math. What is 2 minus 3? Of course, -1. What is 2 minus 6? Well, of course, -2. 6 minus 9, -3. And 8 minus 12, -4. So there you have it.